Wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour fanned the flames of the Okanagan complex of fires this afternoon.
The fires exploded in size since this time yesterday, growing to more than 160,000 acres or 252 square miles. To put that in perspective, that's about the same size as Seattle, Tacoma, and Spokane combined.
This morning, President Obama signed a disaster declaration for our state, which means federal money is on the way to help with the cost of fighting the fires.
We have Team 4 coverage on the wildfire danger tonight, beginning with Kristen Drew live near Okanagan. And we understand new evacuation orders just went out for an area not far from where you are, Kristen.
Good evening, Mary and Eric. The evacuation levels here are constantly changing because of the strong winds. There are now 4 places where residents have been told to leave: Aeneas Valley, Conconully, Mallet, Omak Flats, and Winthrop. Despite these warnings, some are still fighting to save their homes.
It just roared down here. It was really fast and hot.
Dave Ogborn watched flames like this race toward his Tenasket property last night.
It was kind of eerie. I didn't go to bed last night. You know, we were up watching hotspots all night, me and my wife and my son.
Some of Ogborn's neighbors on Pine Creek Road evacuated during the fire danger, but he stayed to save his home.
We built this house 15 years ago, and you just can't stand there and do nothing. And I felt like we had a pretty good defensible space.
Ogborn used heavy equipment to build a line around his barn. He did it with the help of some neighbors and a friend who's a former wildland firefighter.
He told us what we were going to do if things got out of control. And, you know, it all sounded like a good plan, and we just were stuck with the plan. And, yeah, it worked good. It worked really well.
When the winds picked up, though, Ogborn says the fire crossed this ridge in minutes.
It was like a rush of wind, and it got into the short stuff on this side of the fence, but before the driveway, and it just stopped.
Ogborn's concern now is for his neighbors.
A lot of the neighbors aren't out of the woods yet, so yeah, we're just keeping an eye on everything. So if somebody else needs some help, we're going to go down and help them out.
For miles along Pine Creek Road, it's just devastation where flames stripped the land. This morning, fire crews put out flames creeping toward this structure. And throughout the area, smoke like this is seen from every angle.
It's Armageddon. It's just crazy to look at. You almost can't even, it's a weird sight.
And that area in Tenasket is now on a level 2 evacuation warning, meaning residents should be prepared to leave if the conditions get worse. We're live in Okanagan County. Kristen Drew, KOMO 4 News.
Boy, Kristen, some of that video is just amazing to watch. We know the wind is really making things difficult for fire crews on those fire lines. Meteorologist Shannon O'Donnell is here now. Are they going to get a break anytime soon, Shannon?
Boy, eventually. The last 2 days, the winds have been horrific, really fanning those flames and blowing the smoke, dust, and ash into the inland northwest. Check out this photo in from Blaine Matthew looking over downtown Spokane, which has become unrecognizable late this afternoon and this evening with all of the smoke blowing in that direction. The photos coming in reminiscent of May 1980 when all of the ash was blowing in from Mount St. Helens. You can see the ash and the smoke on the visible satellite picture. Notice how it moves to the southeast because of the winds that have been so strong out of the west-northwest. Latest winds just this hour, Wenatchee blowing to 38, Ellensburg to 39, and Twist to 27, certainly continuing to fan those flames from the wildfires. As we head into this evening, the red flag warning will expire, at least it should, by 11 p.m. as the winds die down. But another hot, dry weekend around the corner. Numbers coming up in just a few more minutes.
All right, Shannon, we'll see you then. The sheriff of Okanagan County says the fires burning right now are far worse than Washington's largest ever wildfire that blazed through the county last summer. KOMO 4's Kara Kosnich is live near the town of Okanagan. And Kara, what's it been like out there for you today?
It has been a difficult day, Eric. We have traversed back and forth across the county. Folks are worried about their families. They're worried about their homes as thousands here have faced evacuations, with more likely to come. Across the Okanagan, hundreds of firefighters in a battle with Mother Nature. Fire here has now torched more than 160,000 acres.
And I've seen the wind direction go 360 degrees in multiple locations.
Those wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour forced firefighters in all directions and made their firefight especially challenging. Outside Omak, the fire's destruction so evident. Skeletons of motorcycles, cars, and patio furniture remain of what was once a 3-story home.
Anybody that lost anything, I'm really sorry.
Neighbor Richard Koloff stood by and watched flames tear through the area. His house made it, but his garage destroyed.
There wasn't a whole lot you could do about it. You know, fire it's its own master. It just does what it wants, and it just kind of raged around. And
early this afternoon, fire creeping dangerously close to the Okanagan Valley Golf Course and the homes here. Tonight, it's unclear just how many homes have been destroyed across the county. Now, crews focusing on protecting critical infrastructure and keeping the public and firefighters out of harm's way as they try to stop these relentless fires.
We're going to find those places where we can take an opportunity to secure line, and we're going to stick with it. And when we get a southwest flow tomorrow, hopefully that'll work to our advantage.
And right now, because of this wind-driven fire activity, power is out in a half a dozen communities here in Okanagan County. The PUD telling us tonight that's about 6,000 people without power. They're working to restore that electricity right now. Live near Okanagan, I'm Kara Kostanich, KOMO 4 News.
Thanks.